Hey everybody, it's Gary here from Journey Before Destination Overlanding again. Here with another trailer update. It's been about a day and a half since I sent one out. I figured I'd give you guys an overview of where I'm at right now. Good news is I got the Rooftop Tent up on top of it. I have the mounting brackets, which I'll show you that in a minute, all set to go. I need to obviously attach them to the roof still, and I need to attach the actual mounting brackets. I need to put the riv nuts in and get the right size bolts for it. But as you can see, I laid it all out to make sure everything fit properly up here. You can see the solar panels are on, the max air fan is on. I've got all the bladders for the wires to come up through. I've got this has been on for a while. You can see the shower on here. This piece right here is going to go down here along with the electrical connection. And you can see that now I've got the 23.0 rooftop tent on here. And I will walk you around and show that to you in a minute, how I'm going to mount it on the other side. But also, I've taken the next step and the air conditioner is in. I've got to finish buttoning it up and making it so that I can actually seal it up along there, on the sides and the bottom. But it is actually physically welded in place and sitting on its own. As a matter of fact, it's actually running right now. See how well it'll cool it off, even with the back end open. It cools it right off. It's definitely the right size. It's all cleaned up in there. So these clamps are holding this angle iron below on. They're not holding this up. This is actually physically in where it's supposed to be. I've got these pieces clamped around here so that you can screw everything to it. Then I've got to get the interior set up so I can screw the inside walls in. Put a wall here. This one I'm going to leave open, close it off to the inside, and then this will be sitting out here with a screen over top of it. I was going to put a screen over top of the side here, but I don't think I need to. I think I'll leave that open for right now and see how this works. Put a piece of screen across here so no bugs can get in there. Both thin regular bug screen, and then the outside of it I'm going to put heavier duty aluminum screen over top of it. Just screw it on in 5 or 6 places so that I don't have to worry about bugs getting in it, but I also don't have to worry about it getting hit and just breaking the screen and getting to this. So that's the air conditioner in, which is now actually fully operational. And if you come over here, I'll show you. You can see right here I have the pieces of 2x2 tubing in here, and those are going to be anchored to this permanently, and they're sitting right over top of beams right here and another beam right here, which is perfectly centered for it. Just so happens that it fits perfectly for these for the tracks in the 23.0. It doesn't have to, because this is spread out enough that it could be over here or over there. It wouldn't matter. But anyway, this is set up on here. Then this will be screwed permanently into the track right here, and that will be locked in. Then there'll be a hole through here and a riv nut in the back and this part behind it, and this will get screwed into here, so this never actually has to come off, and I don't have to worry about trying to screw things up into this or anything else. All I got to do is run the riv nut or the bolt into the riv nut right there through the hole. The same thing will be with this one. Riv nut into a hole, and it'll be attached to the top, and this will be completely strapped down in 4 places with 4 bolts. And I also have, you can see the center piece right in there. That is a center support just to give it extra. Theoretically, this is supposed to hold it, but I like having that center support in there just for extra support for the center of the tent so it doesn't sag or anything like that. You can see it fits perfectly with the solar panels. There's plenty of room in between here so we can get to it. These can flap down and go underneath here, all 3 of them, and they can just be tucked underneath, easy to access to get back, put it back on. This all folds out that way. It folds back toward the back. We can take this off, put the vestibule room on. Things are looking really good here. You can see the solar panels are on. These aren't in exactly the right spot yet. They're not actually screwed in, but these 2 will be within probably by the end of the day tomorrow. Max air fan fits on perfectly. I've got these 2 new ones here that I got, and I've got to get them drilled in and screwed in. I'm going to eventually paint these to match these. I don't like the fact that I've got 2 whites and 2 blacks, but it is what it is. That's how Amazon sent them. I've got this black over here, which is going to go on the side. That's going to be for extra solar panels that are out, that I have out here somewhere. It's going to go into my Lynx distributor. And then I've got this piece right here, which goes on the side over here as well. This will go right up here and will be put in the epoxy. This is a 30 amp twist lock plug that I have an extension cord for, so I can hook up to a 30 amp plug at a campground. So I've got these 2 solar panels, but in the end I will have 2 more. These are 100 watts. I'm going to put 200 watts back here. When I'm not using the tent, I'll have the 200 watts on these same pieces of angle just screwed in there with riv nuts. I'll have the mosquitoes around here because I got the door open, but I'll have the piece of angle iron going across that I can just put it up against there, put 2 screws in, and it'll hold the solar panels on top of it. Then I'm going to have the plugs coming out of there. All I got to do is plug them in, and that'll give me the 600 watts of solar that I'm looking for on the top of this. If I can squeeze 300 watters in there, I will. I've got to look at measurements and see if I can squeeze 300 watters up there. I probably could have put 200 watters in these 2 positions and had 400 watts up here, but I'm not sure that would have worked. Hang on one second, I'm going to close the door because while the breeze feels really good, unfortunately right now, mosquitoes are coming in force. But that's where I'm at right now. You can see it's quite a bit of progress. Tomorrow morning I'm going to take my 23-0 awning off and set the brackets on here so I know where they're going to be. And then I'll have to pick this tent back up, mount all of this stuff permanently, get these mounted so this is permanently mounted. I'm going to put riv nuts in here instead of these nuts and bolts, so all I have to do is screw them in if I want to take these out. If I need to put something in there different to put bigger solar panels on later on, then maybe I could do that. Then clean up some edges. I've got some edges here I need to clean up and make these parallel with this. I've got angle iron that came in today to cover this, 1.5 by 1.5 aluminum angle iron. I have some screwing in to do. This is still kind of loose in here, so I've got to screw it in. Now you heard some things fall in there. I have a bunch of angle and a bunch of this type of angle iron and that metal to put in to make it so I can screw the edges in or down here, or the plywood or whatever I'm going to put in there on the edge in there, because right now it's just there's nothing to screw into there at the top. So once I get that done, then I will be cutting this off, and on hopefully this Friday and Saturday I'll be epoxying all these edges in with epoxy and filler, putting epoxy over this with fiberglass stripping, filling all the screw holes in, leveling them all out. And Saturday evening I want to sand all of this, get it nice and smooth, do a really good sand job, fill any more holes that are in here. I'm going to get tape over top of all of these so that I can fiberglass and epoxy over all of these. The edges of these will be epoxy taped and epoxy down. Same with the Max Air fan will be taped over and epoxy down. Then once I've got tape on it, and I've got that epoxied, all these edges epoxied, then I'm going to go at it with the actual fiberglass. I'm going to put 2 or 3 layers of fiberglass on this. So it'll be epoxy, let it set for an hour, epoxy, fiberglass, epoxy, let it sit for an hour, epoxy, then epoxy, and that should give me a good layer of fiberglass on everything. Then I'll get a good layer of epoxy on it. I'll be able to sand it all off afterwards after my trip, because I won't have enough time to paint this before my trip, but I will get it completely epoxied and sealed so that there's no water getting into it in case it rains or something crazy like that, like it typically does on a camping trip. And then when I get back, I will be painting it. So anyway, that's where I'm going from here. I wish I knew somebody who was really good with fiberglassing, but I really don't. So it's going to be an experiment in which I will film. My daughter is going to come help this weekend. I'm probably going to have my son over here helping. It's going to be a full boat attack on trying to get this thing fiberglassed in and ready by Monday so I can sand it down, and I might even paint it if I get time, but I need to get it fiberglassed in, get all that. Then I've got to run all the electrical inside, finish the insulation inside. So I've got quite a bit to do yet, but it's definitely coming along. Obviously, that's the ladder down there that goes with the 23-0. I need to put it back in before we go. I've got the vestibule that goes with the 23-0, so when I open it, put the vestibule in, put the 180 awning, I'll have 180 degrees plus the vestibule and back, so I'll be covered all the way from the tent, all the way around to our kitchen area, up in front, area to sit down, have a fire if it's raining, whatever may be coming. No, I'm not too worried about this right now. The campground we're going to has showers, so I won't need it. I'll open up just to look at it. Then I guess my next question is, what do you guys think about it? I'm thinking about putting another 180 awning up here. So it will cover over, it'll be up higher, and it'll actually physically go over top of this, so that when it's out over here and this is out, you'll actually be able to take a shower under cover. So in the wintertime, I can enclose the entire side all the way out to where the tent opens up, and go from there. And then I'm also going to get a awning that goes across underneath this tent that'll be above the door, but underneath where the tent would be, or the same height as the tent, so that if I don't have the tent on, I can still basically 360 awning it all the way around that side, across the back here, and then up in here, so I can get to my shower and everything else. I'll be able to close this thing all the way up on the outside for winter camping. But that's down the road. That's not this week. So anyway, I wanted to put this update out tonight so everybody get a chance to look at it. One of the things that I'm going to throw at you guys right now, if you're thinking about doing this yourself, I'm going to say one of the things I'm going to do is put plans together for this. When I'm all done with it, set up blueprints. I'll probably sell the blueprints. Honestly, this thing has been a true experience in frustration. Starting off with one set of plans, changing them time and time again. I finally turned it into a drop-in to drop into a trailer. I think it's an awesome idea. I have not seen anybody else with this setup yet. What I'm going to do is try and sell these things as a utility trailer, which is way over there. You can't really see it right now. I can zoom in. The utility trailer is over there. And then this is an insert for the utility trailer. So everybody who doesn't have a pickup truck, who wants to take an Overland trailer with them and go camping behind their, FJ, behind their Suburban, it doesn't matter what it is. Any vehicle, your Jeep, anything else that you don't have a pickup bed in, and you want to pull something like this, yet you want to have a utility trailer to have around the house to do whatever you need to do, carry wood in, whatever, any of those little projects around house. This works for both. This gives you a utility trailer with a ramp in the back. It gives you the Overland camper that is absolutely fantastic. You can go anywhere, and that trailer will be set up to go anywhere. So that way you get 2 for 1. You get a utility trailer and a camper all in one. And it's an extremely capable camper. Some of the things will be changed on the actual ones I start to sell. For instance, I'll make it taller so you can sit up in it. You can actually sit upright in a normal chair if you choose. I can change the heights. I can change all that stuff for anybody who wants it. This one I wanted to keep low profile because I wanted it to be able to go in places it's exact same height as my Jeep with this on top of it. So when it's sit it in the trailer and put it up to my Jeep, the height of the Jeep and this are the exact same height, so I can go wherever the Jeep goes, this can go. Now this is a little bit wider with the awnings on it and so forth, but not much. And because of the way I've done the fenders, if I have to drag it around a tree, I can drag it around the tree. The fenders stick out considerably farther than the edge of this, so I'm not worried about ripping these off. So anyway, that's pretty much the update for tonight. I hope everybody is enjoying this build. It's been a labor of love and a labor of frustration. And as you can see, I'm in a shop with forklifts, and this is not our big shop. We have a complete fab shop, and I've got a high-end Miller welder, big air compressor, tools for just about everything. They're not exactly organized right now. Full welding bench, chop saws. I've got every tool that you need, including, I've got a big grinder over there. I've got a bandsaw over there. I've got portable bandsaws. This is not something that you could put it together in a garage, but I'll tell you, it's not something that you could easily build to this quality and to this size with aluminum in your garage. You just can't do it. A lot of people can weld steel with a stick welder and get a halfway decent weld on it, or you can bolt them together, but it's not quite the same thing as this. So anyway, when I'm all done, I'm going to put plans together for it. You'll see me soon. I'm going to go down with the balsa wood, and I'm going to construct this thing back out with the balsa wood the way I want it, because that's the easiest way for me to do it. I'm not too good at drawing the plans. I'm much better at building it. And once I build it, then I will give it to my guys in our engineering department, have them put it on CAD. And then once I do that, I'm going to clean this up and paint it, make it look pretty. And we're going to take it down to the Expo East, Overland Expo East. I'm going to take it up to Core coming up in a month and a half and show it off there. And hopefully I can actually start selling some of these. I'd like to make a business out of it, and I'd like to have people buy them and use them and enjoy them. Like I said, they won't be exactly the cheapest thing on the market because all the stuff that goes into it is rather expensive, but I can probably make them for less than the other guys that are selling the equivalent trailer to this for 50, 60, 70,000 bucks. So we'll see what the price is when I'm all done with it and how it goes, and then we'll go from there. So anyway, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And enjoy your evening. I know it's pretty late. It's actually 11:15 or 11:10 on Wednesday, the 17th. So tomorrow morning I'll be in here and I will be lifting the tent back off. I will be clamping all those down where they belong, making sure that those are where they're supposed. Those supports are where they're supposed to be. Screwing them in and making the actual brackets and going from there. So I will do another video tomorrow evening and update you on how far I've gotten. Have a wonderful evening.